When we talk about the differences between Secretary Clinton and myself, I voted against the war in Iraq. Secretary Clinton, who was then your senator, she voted for that disastrous war.
I have noticed that under the bright spotlight and scrutiny here in New York, Senator Sanders has had trouble answering questions. He's had trouble answering questions about his core issue, namely dealing with the banks. He's had trouble answering foreign policy questions.
So the back and forth getting more heated between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders ahead of the crucial April 19th, next Tuesday, New York primary. Clinton now suggesting that Sanders is struggling under the media spotlight in the Empire State. This, as new polls show that she still has a double-digit lead. We're going to show you those numbers in just a moment. Let's bring in California Congressman Xavier Becerra, chairman of the House Democratic Caucus. Congressman, welcome. Always good to have you on the program. Good morning to you.
Thank you.
Now, you've endorsed Hillary Clinton, and as we've just been showing, this has been getting a lot more heated of late. What do you make of that debate that's going on between these two?
It's a competitive primary, as what you would expect, and as usual, you see Secretary Clinton showing her strength. Bernie Sanders is trying to make it a race, but I think, once again, Secretary Clinton is showing why she's going to get the nomination.
Do you think he was wrong to with the unqualified stuff? Do you think that was over the line?
Look, Hillary Clinton is not only qualified, but immensely qualified to be president of the United States. Bernie Sanders is qualified to be president of the United States. We're done with that, period. Let's move on. It's silly to discuss that. And now let's talk about who could be the best president, and that's where I think most of us will agree. Certainly New Yorkers will agree that Hillary Clinton should become the next president of the United States.
Well, there's no doubt that the Clinton campaign was surprised that he has cleaned up in 8 states recently, and he's giving her much more of a run for her money than anybody anticipated, any of us who watch these things closely. Let's take a look at the New York poll, and as I said, this primary comes up on Tuesday. She's got a very strong lead in her adopted home state of New York. She's at 55%. He's at 41%. Pennsylvania comes after that. Where do you think this is going?
I think at the end what we'll have is a convention that will not only be unified as Democrats, but bring together a coalition behind Hillary Clinton that will give her the chance to really do well as president of the United States. I don't think any Republican can beat her, and I believe that on the Republican side, they're going to have a tough time deciding who they want to run against the strongest candidate to be president, Hillary Clinton. So it's great that on a day when we celebrate the work of women and trying to make sure that they get paid the same amount as men, that we're talking about Hillary Clinton becoming the next president of the United States.
Now, what do you make of this superdelegate debate? Because, you know, it's on both sides now. There's a lot of debate about the political will of people, how much their vote matters. You know, we saw people talking about voting rights over the weekend, getting arrested, standing up for voting rights. And many Bernie Sanders advocates and supporters would say that the system is rigged. That she has wrapped up superdelegates and the people's voice is not being heard in this.
Well, remember, Hillary Clinton leads Senator Sanders in votes cast by over 1 million, or is it close to 2 million. She will win pledged delegates, and she will win the majority of superdelegates. At the end of the day, she will show that she has earned the chance to be our nominee one way or the other. And I think what we want to do is make sure that we get people out to vote. And those who said that there was an enthusiasm gap between Republicans and Democrats are now finding that, in fact, Democrats are very excited, not just about the November election, but also the primaries. And so that bodes well for Democrats, not just running for president, but for Democrats up and down the ticket come November. I think the Senate is in good shape to go back to being in Democratic hands, and I'm hoping that we continue to see the thrust of Secretary Clinton so that we can actually see the House of Representatives return to Democratic control, and we can get some things done finally, do our job.
That's becoming a huge part of this story, control of the Senate and control of the House and how it's impacted by all of this. I want to play a tape for you. This is an interview with Vice President Joe Biden. It raised some eyebrows over the past day or so. I want to get your thoughts. Let's listen to it.
Would you like to see us elect a woman?
I would like to see a woman elected.
That's it.
No, that's all right. No, I'd like to see. No, I don't mind any problem. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting.
I'd like to ask one more question.
The president and I are not going to endorse because we both, when we ran, said, let the party decide. But gosh almighty, they're both qualified. He was overwhelmingly qualified to be president.
So was that an endorsement, or was he sort of sidling up to endorsing? And, you know, why do you think they would jump in and cut him off and say that's it?
Look, I think we know on the Democratic side that we've got 2 good candidates, but one is so prepared. She's been tested through and through, the best tested, I believe, candidate for president we've seen in a long time. She's been tested not just here in the political circles of this country, but in the hot spots throughout the world. So I think what you're seeing is the Democrats are engaged in this.
Do you think it's odd that the administration, who, appointed her as Secretary of State, and she worked as part of that administration, hasn't openly endorsed her already?
No, I think the president and the vice president are trying to stay neutral because you want to let Democratic voters make decisions. You don't want to get involved. The president is still the president. The vice president is still in office. And so they're trying to be distanced from the campaign. I think it's the right thing to do. If they choose to endorse, that's fine. But I think what you find is, for the most part, sitting presidents and vice presidents try to stay out of races that are contested, that are animated, that are going well, and that show the Democrats are strong.
Fascinating. All right, Xavier Becerra, Congressman, thank you very much. Good to speak with you.
Thank you.